And we are live. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome if you are new here. Welcome to BiancaMMM, Mind, Meditation, and Motivation. And if you are already a friend, welcome back. It's great to see you. Tonight, we're going to cover a little bit of the Brendan Banfield trial. He testified yesterday and today. He's currently on trial for murder for his wife Christine and someone called Joseph Ryan. Joseph Ryan, I believe, right? And Brandon is a former IRS federal agent. Maybe, I don't know what's going to happen in this trial, but he decided to take the stand. And whenever somebody takes the stand on a case like this, I'm curious. I like to watch the behavior, the language, the body language, and then I come here and share with you guys my thoughts. So I always tell you, we're not here to diagnose anybody. We're not here to say this person is guilty or not. We're here to make observations. And in his case, his body language was leaking all over. So I had to make a video, right? I had to make a video for you guys. So, what's the story? The story is Brandon says that he is a good husband. He had a 4-year-old daughter at the time. They hired a nanny from Brazil, and all of a sudden, one day he goes to work and his nanny calls him saying there's a strange car in the driveway. He rushes back to the house to find his wife being attacked, being stabbed by this guy named Joseph Ryan. So Brandon takes his gun because he's a federal agent. He is assigned a gun by the IRS and he shoots the person, Joseph Ryan. They call 911. They come. Unfortunately, they can't save his wife. That's Brandon's version. However, how it gets interesting is that the nanny also called an au pair from Brazil, Juliana Perez, and I'm Brazilian too, so I have a lot of input on this and the language and the translation and the culture, everything like that. So she comes and testifies on this trial saying, no, what happened was Brandon and I were having an affair and we decided, well, he decided that he needed to get rid of his wife, Christine, and she used that word, get rid of. And because divorce was not an option, it would be too costly. It would be too difficult for him to get sole custody of his child. So they created this plan, and the plan is horrific. Okay, if this plan is true, it comes from a psychopath because this plan shows no mercy, no dignity, no compassion whatsoever to the victim, Christine. If this plan is true, which was the testimony from Juliana the au pair, it means that Brandon and Juliana created a fake account on a fetish website saying they were Christina. And they wanted to lure a guy in to the house to pretend to attack her as a sexual fantasy. She said, if I say something, if I say to stop, if I scream, don't stop, I want you to continue on these text messages that they were sending. Now, Christine has no history of watching any type of content like this online. She has nothing that they were able to analyze from her devices showing that she has this type of interest. Okay. So that's where the story starts becoming a little bit interesting and so sad if it is true what Juliana is saying in the stand. So Juliana says that the guy just showed up to have his encounter because he was curious about this lady that was talking to him online. He shows up, then Brandon walks in, shoots him. He goes and stabs his wife. And then he says to Juliana to shoot the guy again because he's getting up. And then they call 911. So we have two stories. That's why we're here. We're going to watch Brendan Banfield on the stand tonight. We're going to watch a little bit about yesterday, and we're going to watch the entire cross examination today, which was very, very interesting. So let's get started with a video where Brendan said how tragic it was when his wife died. No, it was tragic that his 4-year-old daughter at the time, Valerie, 4-year-old, was separated from his wife. And I want to already tell you guys, I don't only look at body language. If you've been here before, you know that. We look at everything, behavior and language itself, choice of words. And that is very telling, the words that he's using here. So let's get started with this video here. Let me make sure this is, yeah.
Attached to her mother. This is, it was tragic, their separation, but, when Valerie was always very excited as soon as Christine would get home from work. Valerie was very attached to her mother. This is, it was tragic, their separation, but when.
Oh, what, right? So let's pause here for a second. And hello, everybody. Hi. I'm sorry that I just made up my mind to go live, so I didn't tell you guys. But hello, beautiful. I'm on the phone taking pup for a walk. Yeah, I just came back from taking my two puppies for a walk. When she's taking me for a walk, LOL. We go wherever she wants to go, LOL. That's exactly how my walks go. I'm like, okay, where you guys want to go? And now I have two dogs, so sometimes I'm literally like standing like this. One dog is this way, they don't want to move, the other dog is that way. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you, Ruth. And guilty, guilty, guilty. In my opinion, of course, LOL. Uh, yeah, so many things already in this little clip, right? He's just starting to address the jury. This is yesterday when his attorney is asking him questions in the direct examination, and he's asking about his relationship with Christine. And then when Valerie came into the picture, how was Valerie's relationship with her mother? So Brandon, he uses distancing. He doesn't say like my wife, because when I lost my mom, and as you guys know, and this is going to be very helpful for me to be able to identify with some of the words that we use as well. Of course, everybody's different, but I always say like my mom, I can't believe he did this to my mom. What happened to her? And with him, it's like almost, distancing. She was very close to her mother. And then when they ask him to describe, like, what is an example? Oh, she would come home and go to her and call her mommy. Like he's very detached from feelings. And again, using that word separation, they were separated, is a classic minimizer that a lot of people that are actual criminals that have been convicted, that do give interviews, they use in order to separate themselves from the actual act. So instead of saying, I killed her, I murdered her, they will say, yes, I did it, or I helped her, she was suffering. They will use anything to soften their crime. So in this case, it was very telling that he's talking about his 4-year-old daughter losing her mom. In my opinion, the worst day of his life, right? This would be the worst day. The worst day of my life was definitely when a tragedy hit my family. So I don't understand why he's like looking at the jury, kind of smiling, saying, yeah, the way they were separated, that was tragic. And he was gonna say, but what? But when you have an affair, this is what you have to do. But when there's no divorce option, this is what happens. Like, what but could come on this? And he says, you know when? And he changes the
Valerie
subject.
was always very excited as soon as Christine would get home from work.
So here's, what we've been talking about during this. It was tragic, their separation, but when? So what we don't see him doing here is emotional struggle. He's talking about something so sensitive, so painful. He's not struggling emotionally. He's not expanding the pain. He's not talking about anything child-centered. So something like a normal parent would maybe say, she cried every night. She didn't understand where her mom was. It broke my heart watching her. I didn't know what to tell my daughter. That's more human. And this is more robotic, more like a very strange way to approach the subject. What we do see him saying is using minimizing language, defensive, but, right? this was, and he pauses and then to choose the language that he's going to use very calmly. So in my opinion already, he thinks he's doing a great job. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else. This is just my opinion. And he's thinking that he's going in there and telling a story and he's going to walk out. But I got news for you, Brendan. I got news for you, sir. Enjoy that time.
It was tragic, their separation, but when Valerie was always very excited as
You see that? So he's telling the jury it was tragic their separation, almost with a smirk. I don't know if that's just the way his face is. And then he says it was tragic their separation, but when Valerie came home and whatever he says there, Valerie was very attached to her mother. Like he just changes the subject.
soon as Christine would get home from work,
So again, tragic is a very appropriate word, right? When we talk about something that somebody else had a tragedy, it's tragic. It's not really a lived description. So I can say that my mom's death was tragic, but I don't really say it that way. Usually I'll just say, oh, it was horrible. My mom, this was what happened. Um, it goes to the emotion instead of going to the description. So it's kind of, he doesn't use the sensory words, the emotional words. So we'll just watch for that. And then on the other word, there's separation, which is very strong. This word is a distancing language softener, reduces emotional impact, removes violence or agency, and turns an act into a condition or outcome. Instead of saying killed, they say this happened. Now, this is his face during that phrase, okay? When he was saying it was, and then he paused. His eyes are narrowing. He's using the body language of somebody who's choosing to say something. He is being analytical. He's not being emotional. Again, he says tragic, and then his eyes remain narrowed. There's no softener, no inner brow, no grief. And then I put the two ladies here on the right side so you guys could see an expression of somebody who actually has grief, how the eyes would be softer, the eyebrows would be going together inward, maybe some moisture, it's not just the eyes the way it is with no expression when he does it in this phrase. So here's my disclaimer. Please read it and share. And now we're going to go to video number 2. And this is a good one, guys.
range.
Let me just put the volume a little bit lower. Otherwise, we're going to go crazy here. Okay.
I mean, there was no plan at this point when we had gone to the range.
No plan at this point. So that's the first time he's going to say that.
I mean, there was no plan at this point when we had gone to the range.
There was none of the suspect email account. There was no FetLife account. There was no Telegram messages. None of that existed.
At the point that we went to the range.
So he goes on the stand and says there was no plan at this point. At the point that we were at the range, there was no Telegram account, no FetLife account. We hadn't created anything yet. There was no plan at this point. To me, that was already like a bombastic revelation yesterday, because you can try to trick people, but we leak information, language, and that's the problem that is happening here. He's saying, and he doesn't even catch himself. There was no plan at this point, and then he's going to repeat it again. No, at the point of the range, there was no Telegram, and then even his attorney is going to have to say something like, oh, but was there a plan after, or something like that. But his attorney is not helpful either. So with his attorney's questioning, style, and his answers, this is becoming a disaster.
Did you ever create any sort of a plan with Juliana?
No, there was no plan. At this point, our relationship is maybe 6 to 8 weeks old. I think that it's an absurd line of questioning for something that is not serious, that a plan was made to.
Get rid of my wife.
So here we go. The get rid of my wife. Get rid of my wife is the same language that Juliana Perez used when she testified, saying, Brandon and I were together, and he said, I'm gonna get rid of my wife. I'm gonna get rid of my wife. That's the words that Juliana used. Now he's saying Juliana is lying, that they did have an affair, but he did not have any plan to get rid of his wife with Juliana. So how would he say, how would a normal person say, if I'm a normal person on the stand and you're saying I plan to kill my husband, I would say, yeah, there was no plan. I would never kill my husband. This is absurd. Why you guys are thinking I'm a suspect on this? I'm suffering. I'm in pain. I miss him every day. That would be more normal, right? But here we are. We're talking with pretty much a robot saying the same thing Juliana said. So the same wording. I did not have a plan to get rid of my wife. Now, with his face, look at his forehead here. His eyes continue to be narrow focused. There is no sadness. There is no grief. His mouth is tight and compressed. He's trying to be very in control of the information. His breath remains steady. When you have a emotional response, you lose your breath. You gasp for air. It's visible that your body is under stress, but he is just being very matter of fact. So let's continue.
Husband's dead. Is absolutely crazy.
And he does this puppy dog face too, like throughout the whole testimony. Sometimes before and then sometimes after. It's kind of like he doesn't know how to process emotions, so he just goes like, and he tries to do that. So now let's go to video number 3.
Well, prior to you having Valerie, what kind of things would you and Christine enjoy together?
Christine and I had a very active social life. We spent a lot of time with our friends. This included playing board games and cards, as well as going on vacations together, and going on vacations with other couples that we were friends with. We did a lot of hiking, going to different forests and different mountains kind of around the country. We also spent some time. We played kickball together. We did quite a bit intramurally.
Okay.
And here's the
What kind of
face.
things?
You see that? That was the face. Right after the phrase, he goes and makes the puppy dog face. But it's like a face glitch because he doesn't know like how to do it. And look at him trying to smile, talking about Christine, right? And he never says anything feeling wise. My wife and I were together for this many years. We loved each other very much. We had our problems, but we always loved each other. It's all like we used to hike, we used to play this, we used to go out for vacation with friends. So it's all about matter of fact activity. So let's just take a look real quick at the face right after
Quite
he's
a
done
bit
talking.
intramurally.
Okay.
There. You see? It went like, oh yeah, quite a bit. Fake smile. Yeah, that early. And then all of a sudden, he's back.
What kind of things, and
Puppy
sorry,
dog
once
face.
again,
You have to feel sorry for yourself. You have to look sad for the jury, sir. But he doesn't know what sadness feels like. So he's like, hmm, hmm, hmm. Let me see. Can I go? Oh, not this view. I wanted to try to like copy his face, but I'll do it on another layout when I put
Before
myself next
Valerie,
to
what
him.
kind of things would, in addition to the hiking, what kind of things would you and Christine enjoy doing together?
We spent,
What do
say
you
that
like
we-
to do with your wife?
spent a lot of time together. When we weren't working, we did a lot of work around our house. We had two dogs, two huskies that we
Poor
took care of.
dogs.
We're often taking them on our walks and hikes.
And so, in addition,
He looks at the attorney like, dude, what else do I say? And then he goes back to the face. He goes back to the face. I can't with
into
this
those
guy.
things,
So here's what we're gonna take a look at. Okay, pay attention on this slide. If you're just listening, take a look at this real quick. We have two Brendans. On the left side are his facial expressions when he's talking about his wife. He's controlled, guarded, distant, restrained, flat, neutral, heavy. When he starts talking about his affair with Juliana, he becomes this other guy on the right side, animated, expressive, lighter, connected, engaged, responsive. Let's take a look at that live in real time.
Juliana showed me
He's already so much
quite a few
happier.
screenshots of her dating app. I believe it was Hinge, and the people that were in the Hinge app all had similar names to me.
All
Their names were
smiles.
Brendan and Brandon and Brennan. And these were people that she had matched with on the app.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. I believe him, okay? I think that this part where he's talking about Juliana came to talk to him in the kitchen and she was like flirting with him, saying he's very flattered, telling the jury this. He's like, oh yeah, she came on to me and she was doing this. He's doing that like he's telling a friend that this girl is coming on to him. Not like he's telling a jury who is looking at the evidence if he killed his wife or not about his affair. He's giddy, he's smiling. Now, it is very common in Brazil, two things, okay, for women to be more sexualized from an earlier age, okay? It's very common in Brazil for teenagers and young women to be very exposed because Brazilian culture is very heavily sexual culture. Depending on the state that you're in, you see, you have the carnival with all the people like wearing barely anything, and it's just something you're exposed to. So I don't doubt that even though she was 21, that she was like, oh, this guy, the gringo, the American guy, which is another thing in Brazil, depending on where you were from, especially if you're from a very poor place and your dream is to come to the United States and you meet somebody who's an American, you're like, wow, he's an American, he can change my life. So I do believe that she may have made the moves on him. I was watching EDB yesterday and today, and she was like, oh, yeah, the young girl was not going to do that. So I just wanted to point that out because that is very possible. But look at how giddy he is to just tell the jury how this girl was coming on to him and how, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? But he's so giddy and like, dude.
and so, and how did it progress from there?
She was making quite a few jokes about it. At some point, I finished cooking and was eating. I don't believe that Juliana actually ate dinner at the same time. We talked about other unrelated things. Talked about there was some family history of alcoholism and how her family in Brazil was dealing with that. And we'd spent maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours talking about some random things, but also about her dating history. During this time, when she was talking about different people, she was described people that she was interested in, people that were taller, people that were older, and it appeared to me that she was
describing me. Look at
along
his
with
smile.
the photos, that the screenshots that she had shown me of people that she had matched with, that she was basically describing me.
Smile.
Also,
He had a
I
little
guess
bit of a
when we were
duper's
having
delight.
this
I don't know if you
conversation-
guys caught that. Duper's delight is when you have a little bit of a corner smile here. When he said she was basically describing me. Watch this.
Also, I guess when we were having this,
There you go. It was very quick. See?
basically describing me.
There.
Also, I guess when we were having this conversation, we were sitting at the island in the kitchen, and she scooted her seat closer to mine a couple times.
And so what did you do at that point?
I did not stop her advances. At some point, I told her that I was going to go upstairs, indicating that I was going to go to bed. And she said that she was tired and that she was going to do the same. A little bit of information about the upstairs of my house. Once you go upstairs, the master bedroom is to the left, and all the other bedrooms are to the right. So her bedroom, a guest bedroom, and Valerie's bedroom are to the right. When I went upstairs, I went to the left, and she also took a step towards the left with me.
Yeah, but we're
Some
missing
random
something.
things, but also about her dating history.
We're missing something because you're downstairs, she's sitting next to you, she's getting close to you. I didn't stop her advances, and then you're like, I'm going upstairs to my bedroom. And then all of a sudden she follows you. There was something there. There was something there that you guys decided to go to the bedroom together, right? So let's see. Describing me. Okay, we saw that. Do not stop her advances. Okay. And then the attorney is not helping either because I don't know why he keeps going into this. Okay. The jury does not need to think your client is more of a POS than he already is. Like, we don't need to
Talk to
know
her either
how
that
worst
night
he is.
or later about a continuing relationship?
Here he goes. Here he goes.
We did not talk that night about continuing a relationship. We did talk about, I would say, in the next few days, I guess we spoke a little bit about the relationship. She had indicated that she was concerned that I was going to tell Christine and that she was going to be essentially fired and sent back to, and
Why are you so happy, sir?
lose her job.
So happy.
Which I indicated that I wasn't going to tell her.
Okay. Did you tell her anything about
Look at the face.
what
Puppy
had
dog.
just happened and what that was?
Yes, I mean, that would be that we were having an affair. I had also indicated to her that I had previous affairs. And that really this was just an affair. And
So monotone, right? The same way he describes Christine, his daughter, how they were going to be separated, how it was tragic. The same way he's saying, yeah, I just told her, I had many affairs before. So he does not have any sense of perception or who he's talking to. Like, know your audience, know your audience. And this is why sometimes I do see a little bit of narcissism in him, because the narcissist has a false ego, right? A false sense of entitlement. And when their ego gets hurt, they get very hurt. And that's something we're going to see when the prosecutor starts asking him questions. But the fact that he wants to boast that he had affairs, that she was advancing onto him, it's not helping his murder case, because the jury is not going to find sympathy on a man sitting there saying these things about betraying his wife, who was a freaking PICU nurse, who did so many things, was working 12 hours a day, trying to like send him a picture of her once in a while. So it doesn't help his case that he is going into this, but his attorney is on board. So let's see what happens.
Not that there would be no other relationship, that there's,
And
that basically that this is something that I have had affairs previously, and that there's nothing that changes in mine and Christine's relationship.
And
was
then goes the
Christine
puppy
aware of
dog
your affair?
face.
I don't believe she was aware of the affair between me and Juliana.
was she aware of your previous affairs?
She was aware of at least 2 previous affairs.
Okay.
There you go. Bad
and likewise,
information.
were you aware of her affairs?
Yes, I was also aware that she had affairs.
Okay.
Objection assumes facts, not in evidence. I do not see any proof. Anybody that came to testify that Christine had affairs. So sure, you can say whatever you want to say, but I don't believe you, sir.
How did the two of you manage in your relationship moving forward with those facts?
So I guess in about 2013, it was found that we had quite a few discussions. At that point, Christine was working at the private healthcare, and she would travel for work for an entire week at a time, basically. And during this time, she would not be available to come home.
Okay. So another thing I hate that this guy does, okay, if he is guilty of this, if he really did murder his wife, he did it in the worst way possible, stripping her of any dignity. He did not take into consideration at all how her daughter would look at her for the rest of her life, how she would see her mother, how the things that he could, if he's guilty and if he really created this site saying that she was into fetish things and she had many affairs, and now he's testifying that she had many affairs, he really does not care at all about her, about Christine as a person. So he doesn't have any empathy, any compassion for her. Neither does he have it for his daughter, because he doesn't care. He's like, I need to get rid of her. I need to get rid of her. She's just an object, an obstacle in my way. It doesn't matter what's going to happen to my daughter, how she will feel, the wounds that this will create for the rest of her life. He doesn't matter. And you see how he's very vague about the affair. He says, yes, Christine also had many affairs because she was working and then she was out of town and she couldn't come home for a week. Okay, where's the affair? Where's the affair on that? Oh, I don't believe him at all. In my opinion, Christine was faithful. Exactly. I don't see anything that shows us otherwise. And I see him showing us a lot of things that make him suspicious, make me doubt that he's telling the truth. So here is another one where the attorney asks if he loves his wife. Let's watch.
Did you love your wife?
Very much.
Did you love your wife?
Very much.
Did you want to continue your marriage with your wife?
Yes.
Do you love your daughter, Valerie?
More than anything.
Your Honor, I'm going to try to show some pictures,
Okay,
if I can.
all right.
Look at the prosecutor's face. Contempt. Contempt is when you have that little side smirk. Wait, where is it? Ah, there you go. Here you go. Contempt. And for him, the eye closure, right? I always say here, when you have the delay in opening your eyes, like you don't want to see it, you don't want to be exposed to the information. It's like you're blocking the information. And when does the eye closure happen on his case? When he's asking, did you love your wife? He closed the eyes. He said very much. He closed the eyes again. So it's an information that bothers him. So now I want to take a look at the cross-examination a little bit. Let me see, because that was very interesting today. I was so excited because his attorney was putting me to sleep, and then the prosecutor came guns blazing. So we're gonna watch just the end of his direct, and then we're gonna watch the
Action relevance.
This is the end.
Sustain the objection.
What, if any, things would you do differently in the room confronting Joe Ryan?
Objection relevance.
Sustain as to relevance.
What if anything? What if anything? I wonder who everybody is behind. I think the couple might be his father and his stepmother, but I wonder everybody else. Okay, go ahead, attorney. Go. Why are you laughing, sir? This is absurd. This guy is making me so mad. I dislike him a lot. And usually I'm not like someone who watches these trials and goes to the prosecution side. I innocent until he's proven guilty. But why did you shoot Joe Ryan? He was stabbing. He was not my wife, by the way. He was stabbing Christine. I wish I had shot him earlier. No, you don't smile, you don't smirk during this, sir. If you want to testify, you need some acting classes. You need to be like, okay, the guy was stabbing my wife. He freaking murdered my wife. Outrage, tears. Maybe get some Murdoch. Some tears. How to make that happen on the stand? No smirking. That's not good. You really do look like a little bit of a psychopath here. I'm not calling you a psychopath. You look like one because there's no emotion, and when there is, it's inappropriate. It's like smirking when you're talking about shooting the guy that murdered your wife, supposedly.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Yeah, please sit down, counsel. Sit down. Look at the guy in the back shaking his head. The guy with the black, cardigan. It's like,
It's my power cord anyway.
let's watch the guy again. Where is it? Oh, now I have to go to the. Hold on. I'll be back right here, but let me watch this guy again.
Where I hit him into.
The guy in the black and the glass is like. And here she comes. Turn down for what?
It's my power cord anyway.
Good afternoon, Mr. Banfield. I'm about to whoop your butt. I'm gonna whoop your butt, sir, Mr. Federal Agent. Let's go. I wish this was so much. I wish this cross had taken 2 days because it was so entertaining. Gosh, with the freaking noise, guys. Relax.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. So let's understand, this is the first time you've told this story or any story about what happened in the bedroom on February 24th, 2023, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And you did not tell the police on that day in the bedroom. You did not tell the police on that day in the hospital. You did not tell them when you were back at the station, correct?
Judge, I'd object. May we approach?
We can approach.
Yeah, she's making comments on his right to testify, his right to remain silent. So that's a delicate issue that she shouldn't be exposing too much. But look at him. Are you worried? Drink the water. Drink the water. Loosen up the tie a little bit. Brendan, you got this. No, you don't.
Sorry, thank you.
And
Let's
his
try that
father,
again.
if that's his father,
didn't
has
tell
the
the
same type of
police.
expression. Like,
In the house, you didn't tell them in the driveway, you didn't tell them at the hospital, you didn't tell them back at the station, correct?
I said what I did on the 911 call. I was not questioned by the police at the house, in the driveway, in the ambulance about what had happened.
Okay, but you were questioned at the police station. You didn't tell them then, right?
that's
Actually, I
fine.
was not questioned at the police station.
Okay. It's been
He
3
doesn't have to.
years. You have not had an opportunity to tell the police in the last 3 years what happened?
Yes, they have requested to.
He
yes, they
doesn't have
requested
to tell
speak to
them.
me. The police did request Detective Bryant, I believe, requested to speak to me at the hospital, not at the police station. And yes, they did request to speak to me through my attorney subsequently.
Okay, and you were given the opportunity to tell a court what happened when you were brought in to testify at Juliana's preliminary hearing, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and at that point in time, you didn't tell anybody this story, right?
I was advised that that defense of others is not relevant for preliminary hearings. And it was my intention that I was going to testify at Juliana's trial.
Okay, but at the preliminary hearing, you didn't even admit to Christine being your wife, correct?
That's what I was instructed to by my
I see.
attorney.
Okay. So now that you've heard all
He's
of the
actually not even
evidence,
calling her
every
him
possible
her, his
hearing
wife,
that could
you.
happen in this case has happened. Now you are ready to tell us what happened. Is that accurate?
I was ready to tell what happened at Juliana's testimony, at Juliana's trial when that was scheduled for November.
Are you nervous?
And I've
Are
been
you
waiting
nervous,
to do
Brendan?
that for mine. I was expecting my trial to be earlier than this too.
But at no point in time have you reached out to law enforcement to tell them, at no point have you had your counsel reach out to law enforcement to tell them this story?
Actually,
of
I
you
did
protecting
have-
your wife. Excuse me, I'm not finished. You have not asked anyone to talk about how you saved your wife or tried to save your wife, have you?
Actually, I did. I told counsel that I would participate in any of the civil investigations that was going to be involved with my agency, and that I would talk to them regarding this case as they required.
Okay, did you do that?
They did not take it up, was my understanding, because I believe the Fairfax police did not want them to.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so
your affair
now
with
her pace is a lot different than his attorney, right? His defense attorney is like so slow, slower than a turtle, and he's able to talk to his attorney and tell the story, and he thinks he's doing great. Now, prosecutor comes in, guns blazing. She's like, tell me. Even when she's not speaking, her body's like, what? Chin jutting all the way. And he's getting tripped up. He's getting nervous. He's tripping up on his words. He's getting tripped up here. And he's getting a little angry. He's going to get a lot angrier. But you can see that he is getting angry because he's being challenged. And organisms such as this guy do not like to be challenged. So let's keep going.
Juliana began in August of 2022, correct?
Yes,
Okay. You took trips together, correct?
yes,
You communicated with her on Discord, is that correct?
yes.
Tell us a little bit about Discord. Is that a messaging app that is secret, if you will?
No,
No? Okay. It's on your phone?
yes.
Okay. And the two of you elected to communicate that way. Why not with Facebook Messenger like you communicated with Christine, your wife?
I think Discord is my favorite messenger app, and I use it a lot, both with my friends and the gaming groups that I was in. Christine did not use Discord.
Okay.
Christine is busy. She has a real job.
You indicated
helping
earlier
babies.
in your testimony yesterday, I think, that this affair with Juliana was really a nothing, right?
Just
This
an
was
affair.
just an affair. You had had others. This was not a relationship, correct?
I would say that it was a relationship, but it is an affair, but I wouldn't categorize it as serious.
But you said
Not
you
serious. Okay.
her.
Did you love her?
There was points that I told her that I loved her.
You told her that you loved her, but you didn't actually love her.
I would say that I had feelings for her, but they weren't nearly as strong as feelings for my wife.
Understood.
So this is very hard, okay? Because if he does have a little bit of psychopathy in him, which I don't know, if he did stab his wife and created this plan, I would not be surprised that he does have psychopathy in him. But if he does have it, he does not have the ability to love, to have feelings. So what they do, the organisms that are psychopaths, they actually just observe other people and how they express feelings, they express emotions, how they talk about it. And they go like, okay, I'll copy that. And then I'll pretend to be normal like everybody else. So I don't know if this is the case with Brendan, but when she asks about love, he immediately says, I did tell her I loved her. Okay, that's not the question. Did you love her? I did have feelings, but they were not as strong as for my wife. So again, it could be true that he just really doesn't know what love is and he doesn't even know how to answer that. It was very natural for him to respond this way.
Okay, so let's take a look. Judge,
now
I'd
the
like to have displayed to the
exposure.
witness and counsel, Commonwealth's 244.
Yay! Home from walk. Have a great evening. Enjoy your evening. Settling
All right,
down.
so
Whatever you're
Mr.
gonna do.
Banfield,
Where are you? Is it cold over there?
these are
I'm in
your
Florida and it's cold.
Discord messages with Juliana. Do you recognize the username APOCD2?
Yes, that's my
A little
Discord.
bigger so you can see. Has some more numbers after that, D21?
Mhm.
All right, and that's you, right?
Yes, that is my Discord
Okay,
name.
Okay.
and Juliana is identified as Juliana, is that correct?
It appears to be.
Okay, so if we look at line 30, which I'll highlight for you here,
I'm so
February
sleepy.
14th, Valentine's Day, 2023, Juliana tried to break up with you, right?
Ooh.
Juliana broke up with me numerous times.
Okay, on this occasion, she said, I told you I'm seeing other people. We spoke about this already. I won't be going, speaking of this trip to New York that you were going to take with Valerie,
Yes.
right? I'm sure you two will have lots of fun, something to that effect, right?
Yes.
Okay. This upset you, didn't it?
The prosecutor is like
No?
touching his
Okay,
ego.
you beg her in the next several messages to please talk to you, correct? How are you? Do you want to talk?
He's like, I don't want to admit to that. I don't want to
We can
admit to that.
chat. We'll scroll up. so you
He's
can
almost
see
going
more.
inside
And
the
those are a
monitor.
different day, it appears.
Was it the next day?
Well, it looks like it's within hours. Yes, midnight happens and we've moved into another day, but you're still asking if you can talk to her, right?
That appears to be what it says.
That appears to be what it
Judge, I'd offer into
says.
evidence Commonwealth's 244, the
You
Discord
said it's your
messages.
Discord. You're
objection?
reading the messages
Item
right there.
244 in evidence?
That's what you said. That's what you said.
And Judge, if that's been published, the jury will let it linger for a second, and then if we can take it down.
Sir, stop it.
Judge, if we can move to display to the witness and to counsel, Commonwealth's 245. Mr. Banfield, I'm going to just scroll through it. Let me know if you recognize this letter.
Yes.
He's definitely getting a little blushed, right? His head is inside his shoulders. He's like sinking in and looking at the monitor, and he's like, all right, crap, here we go. I'm gonna have to admit to this. Let's go, prosecution. Why is it taking so long? She's like frozen.
Identified it. I think he's just agreed with her
Oh,
statement.
I'm sorry. I thought he said, yes, this was his letter to Juliana.
He
This is
did.
your letter to Juliana?
Yes.
All right, 246 in evidence.
This is the letter.
And here you said that she's your gym partner, helped you to be the strongest in your life. You've never had a consistent partner before.
Yes, that was referring to a gym partner.
I am obsessed with your happiness.
Yes.
But again, all of this is after Christine
And then
had passed?
if you look at that, it also is that I declared that she was a hero because in my view, she saved my life that day.
Oh, look at the puppy dog eye.
I think it's
Victim.
easier to fall in love with somebody that saved you.
Wow. He did a shoulder shrug here. You know, one shoulder shrug, which is a sign of deception. Usually there's not a lot of signs of deception. And then he's doing the puppy dog eye. And again, know your audience, you know, understand who you're talking to. You're talking to the jury, and here you are calling Juliana your hero. I mean, that shouldn't even be in the equation. All you should be thinking about is how awful it was, what happened to your wife. And you're like trying to tell the prosecutor, of course I called her a hero because she saved me. It's easy to fall in love with somebody who saves you. Duh. Puppy dog eye. Puppy dog eye. I can't with this guy. Oh, Brendan, you're so freaking irritating.
All right. And I'm going to have you take a look, Judge, if we can pull this down.
This guy is so gonna get convicted. It's not even
Count
funny.
247. Do you recognize this item?
Yes.
All right. And this is another love letter to Juliana.
Yes.
All right. Judge at office and to evidence is Commonwealth's 247.
Any objection?
No objection.
247?
Okay.
Okay. And if we can pull this down. I can have you take a look at Commonwealth's 250.
Okay, we're gonna fast forward here. If she's just gonna
Do
introduce.
you record, is that your understanding of what they believed? Or is that how you perceived their relationship?
Oh wait, I have to go back. I have to go back.
Did they think who you met on a strong feelings, these let's be together for the rest of our lives feelings did not exist when your wife was alive?
Correct.
Okay, and they certainly did not motivate you to kill your wife.
Juliana and I weren't even together when Christine died.
All right.
See, again, he does the delayed in the eye closure, which is like when you don't want to face a fact, you want to avoid the information that is happening. So when Christina died, he does the delayed eye, and then he goes back to this stupid face, the puppy dog eye.
You had broken up, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you need to kill your wife to get her back?
Definitely not.
You've had multiple affairs, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And
And that's
one
not
of those
good.
affairs was with a woman named Danielle, who you met on a fetish site searching for sugar babies. Is that correct?
What?
I would not call it a fetish site.
Okay. What would you call
What a
it?
POS, guys.
An arranged relationship.
Okay. But you were looking for someone to be your sugar baby?
Look at everybody in the back.
I guess. It was a relationship where they would already know that I was married. That was what I was looking for.
Okay. Another
Close
one of
the
your
eyes.
affairs
You
was
can't
with
get out
your
of there.
best friend's
You're
wife.
here
Is
now.
that correct?
No. First, he's not my best friend. Number two, they were not married. They were not even together at that point.
They were, is that your understanding of what they believed? Or is that how you perceived their relationship? Did they think they were together?
I don't think so. My understanding is that she wanted to be with him and they were not together at that point.
Okay.
But no, they were definitely not married at that point or anything like that.
Okay. But you were married at that point.
Yes, I was married at that point.
All right. Thank you. Let's talk about Christine and her apparent decision to solicit someone to fake rape her.
Wow.
You would agree, you have not seen today, nor are you aware of any
Evidence.
phone history, computer history, indicating that she was interested in this type of relationship.
Anything at all.
Prior
Anything
to
at all.
January
She was
of
not looking at anything at
2023,
all.
correct?
I was aware that she was interested in this type of thing, but I was unaware of the messages or that she
Objection
was
assumes
pursuing this
fact, not in
again.
evidence. Here he goes again, staining the memory of his former wife, Christine. Here he goes again, one more time. Okay, so he's telling everybody she died as somebody who was looking for this type of thing. She died asking this guy to come into her house and do those things to her. She died as someone who had many affairs, and she died as someone who was interested in this type of things. He does that without any regard for how this information will land on his daughter when she's older, how her reputation will suffer. So if he is guilty of this crime, which is very likely that he is based on his own words, his own inconsistencies, and his own behavior, he's totally sick puppy.
Has that been many years since she had expressed those feelings?
Okay, but
Close the
there
eyes,
is
puppy
no
internet
internet history that
We have no
you're aware
evidence.
of
We have evidence of
predating
you
January
doing the fetish
2023,
sites.
correct?
I'm not, could you answer that? ask
Yeah,
that
I
a different
don't
way?
understand. I don't understand. Yes, you do.
When, from what you've seen in court, she sets this up. She's using a profile picture from a gym bathroom with like a Barbie doll. I think it's an Ariel doll in the picture. And that's a photo that she sent to you on that day, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Did she have any other pictures in her Facebook cache that she could have used that you're aware of?
I don't know.
Okay,
I mean,
you never looked at her Facebook?
yes, I look at her Facebook, but I don't use social media very much.
Okay.
You know what's interesting also is just looking at the crowd versus him. He looks like a robot, right? Completely out of place, trying to answer these words as analytical as he can. And then when you look at the crowd in the back, they're all human faces. They're trying to make sense of the information they're hearing. I don't know if they're on his side or not, but when we look at the crowd in the back, we get a general idea of the feeling of the body language in the court. We cannot see the jury, but we can definitely measure how the information is being received by everybody else behind him.
You presented us with 20 plus pictures yesterday. Were any of those
Yeah.
photos available to her? They all came from her Facebook page, correct?
I don't know where they came from. I didn't arrange for them.
Oh, okay, those weren't your photos that you were sharing with us?
Some of them appeared to be my photos, but I don't know. Some of them, I believe, were my mother's. Some of them,
Mhm.
I think, were
Mhm.
Christine's. A lot of times, Christine and I,
Oh.
we would, if we were to share photos, we shared them on Messenger.
He has an
Okay,
explanation
alright.
for everything.
And in the pictures that you all had shared
And
on
he acts like
Messenger,
we're all stupid.
there
He's
was
like,
not
"Yeah,
a single
well."
other photo of Christine where she wasn't in a public bathroom that she could have used as her profile photo?
I'm sure she could choose whatever profile photo she would have wanted.
But that's what
don't
you
know
chose, right?
Why? I mean,
That's the
she
picture you
took-
had.
it appears that she took the photo that day and used the photo that day for herself.
Okay. When these solicitations occurred between Christine,
They're pretty good in the
And the
back.
other
They're
users
not
on
giving me a
FetLife.
lot of faces.
she was looking for someone that she expected to engage with her sight unseen,
Watch.
correct? There were not to be any meetings in public in advance of this hookup. Correct.
That is what the messages seem to appear.
Okay. And she was only doing this when either you or Juliana were home, correct?
It appeared to me that it happened when I was not home based on what was presented today often.
Right, but Juliana was home, correct?
I don't necessarily know where Juliana was at those points.
You see how he really thinks this evidence is helping him? Here's a perfect example of him thinking, I'm testifying, I'm doing a great job, I'm totally gonna convince everybody I'm innocent, because he's trying to be, he's analytical. He may be missing the amygdala in the brain that creates feelings, empathy, processing emotions, which a lot of people who have psychopathy and narcissism, they lack, or they have a very small amygdala in their brain, because he's answering this matter of fact, analytical, like we're stupid, right? We're stupid. He's like, listen, my attorney spent 500 hours here showing you guys exhibits that showed my phone was not in the house when Christine's phone was in this fetish website. Therefore, I'm not guilty. But the crime is that the prosecution is alleging this is a plan that you had together with your au pair, with your nanny, and that you guys were working together. So it doesn't matter that you were home if she was home, because you could have very well texted her or called her and said, Juliana, go on the fetish website and pretend to be Christine. So now he looks at us like we're stupid. He's like, my phone wasn't there. You guys all saw. And then again, with the puppy dog eye face. Nobody's
No, that
buying
you
it.
weren't there.
And look at her.
Correct.
Look at
Well,
her.
we went through lots of the evidence
Look at
that
her.
showed that there was many times that I wasn't there. There was points that it showed that the messages were logged into from the CBRN
Robot.
email that Juliana states that she has no knowledge of, never logged into.
He's so
doesn't know
angry.
the
You see
password
this
to.
teeth?
And so if Juliana is the home, whether she is or not, the only other person that is
She
home
was.
is Christine that
Right.
can use
And
that can.
Juliana.
But most importantly,
Look
you
at
are
how
not
angry
home,
he is.
correct?
It appears that there was many messages that were sent while I was home and many messages
That's
that were
not what
sent
I
while I
asked.
wasn't home.
I am asking, you were not home.
There is both messages
Look at the
that
people
from
in
when I
the
was
back.
home and when I was not home, it
Okay.
appears.
Okay.
Look at the lady with the
So-
glasses.
The person that she
The
put
lady
the-
with the glasses is giving me, we're not buying your shit, sir. I don't know who she is, but definitely the lady in the glasses and the guy. The blonde girl, she looks like a journalist to me. She's like, taking notes. I don't know. But this did not fall as Brendan thought it did not land as Brendan thought.
and was one who was willing to come to her home, not a hotel, without any sort of public meetup first, as seemed to
7:38
be
on a
the ask
Friday.
from most of the other participants on FetLife. Accurate?
I didn't read the other messages between the other people.
Okay. And this person needed to be willing to bring a knife, correct?
I don't know.
Okay,
I didn't see an ask for the knife.
no problem. problem. You were present for your daughter's birth. You remember that,
Yes,
okay? And at
Prosecutors
that
attacking
time,
the
were
plan
you aware
because it messed
that
with his ego.
Christine received medication to address her blood clotting disorder?
my experience is that she did not, that they tested her in her prenatal experience and that she did not require a medication for it, but they were going to monitor her for it during the delivery.
Okay, because you were aware she had a blood clotting disorder, correct?
I am aware that she has a blood clotting disorder.
Okay.
She had, Brendan.
When you set this whole thing up,
I didn't set this whole thing up.
I'm sorry, when Christine set this whole thing up, it was scheduled to occur minutes after her family was leaving the house at 7 a.m.-ish, correct?
I don't know what time her family was leaving the house.
Oh, you hadn't shared with her your plan to go to your meeting early the next
Imagine,
morning?
imagine if he had said, no, when I set this up, that was a good catch by Brendan. Good catch, and I love the prosecutor did this.
I didn't have a meeting the next, I'm sorry, can you ask the question again?
Sure, the night before on the 23rd,
Oh, the
right?
23rd, sorry.
When she is setting this up, she's scheduling it to occur at
7:30 in the
7:20-ish
morning, yeah.
a.m., which was going to be minutes after everyone had left the house to go to the zoo, to go to the big meeting, right?
Yeah, she couldn't wait. Like, let's say Christine is setting this up, right? She couldn't say to the guy, listen, come at 9. Come at 9. You know, I'll wake up, I'll have breakfast, then you can come and pretend to do what you're going to do. My husband will be at work at his big meeting, and my nanny's going to be at the zoo. No, she said, come at 7:20 a.m. I think because maybe Brendan was planning to go to work. I don't know. At 7:20
That is what the
a.m.
messages seem to say.
Okay, and are you telling
Blink,
us that
blink.
your wife was not aware that you had this big meeting scheduled for the 24th?
She was aware that I had the meeting scheduled.
Okay, and was she aware that the nanny was taking your daughter to the zoo?
It appears to me that she arranged for Juliana to take Valerie to the zoo. She got-
Objection. We did not have any proof of that. Assumes facts, not in evidence. So I don't know how Christine planned the zoo trip. I did not see anything.
Got the parking tickets to take her to the zoo. She had planned it, I don't
Wanna
know,
make it a
a
little
week,
fast.
10 days prior.
Right, and the zoo opens at 8 o'clock and everyone's leaving at 7, but she scheduled Joe Ryan to come over at 7:20. Is that correct?
I don't know what time she scheduled exactly.
And you indicated that you were not aware that she had taken February 24th off until just the day before, right?
That is correct.
Okay, but that's not accurate because her parents were scheduled to come while you were going to be out of town the night of the 24th. Isn't that correct?
I believe they were going in the evening and then she would already be back from work.
I see. So your expectation was that she was working that day, but their expectation and everyone else's expectation is that she would be home.
I don't believe it was ever stated that she was going to be home, that they were aware that she was going to be home. My experience was that she was scheduled to work until that day.
But her parents were coming for dinner.
I don't know if they were coming for dinner. I think they were traveling through. I don't know why they were coming exactly,
Okay,
because I think they were going to Florida or continuing on.
Florida, whatever. He sounds a little angry about the parents coming up for a visit. I don't know what it is. He's like, I don't know why they were coming. I don't know. They were going to Florida or some fucking place, you know. But he's getting angry because she is poking holes in his story and he likes to have an answer for everything. And notice a lot of what he says, usually the language that he uses is my experience. My experience is this, my experience is that.
okay. And it would be your contention that on the morning of this planned tryst, she took her phone and turned it off herself and put it in the kitchen drawer?
I don't know. I did not see her turn off the phone.
Okay, you didn't see her with her phone at all. Did
I
you?
saw her with her phone in the morning when I was getting ready.
You did?
Yes,
Okay, and she was on her phone in the morning when you were getting ready?
yes, she had her phone in the morning,
And you said that was 6:30.
roughly. And then
Okay.
I was in and out getting ready in that morning, so it's hard to say an exact time.
So then would it surprise you if the digital forensics, Mr. Lidsky's work would show that she was not on her phone at 6:30 or really any time before or
Uh-oh.
after that with any?
I saw her with her phone. It was on the bed. She had the laptop
She was
also on the
just,
bed.
the phone was there,
Got it.
dead.
Okay, so
She was
she
just
with the phone,
staring
not
at
using
it.
the phone.
Yes,
It was dead. She's like, I see.
Let's talk about what happened in the room that morning.
I love it.
You leave the house, you go to McDonald's, and you're in the bathroom there for 7 minutes. Is that correct?
I believe that's what the time showed.
Okay, and you don't leave the bathroom until Juliana calls you at 7:37. Is that correct?
I believe that's the time. I don't have the time in front of me.
Okay, but as you're leaving the bathroom, you don't call 911.
I did not.
Okay, and you don't tell Juliana to call 911.
No, I did not.
You don't run out of McDonald's. We've seen you on the video. You walk to your car.
I thought it looked like I was walking faster
I
than
thought
normal.
I looked like
Okay,
I
but
was.
you're not concerned.
I thought I looked like I was walking fast enough. Okay, for the forensics, I thought I did a good job on my plan. But one thing, I'm so like sleepy that my eyes are tearing up. One thing I wanted to mention on this, I forgot. Let me go 1 second before.
I saw her with her phone in the morning when I was getting ready.
You did.
Oh, okay. I remembered. Okay. One thing that I wanted to point out, right? When Juliana testified, she said she called Brendan, who was at McDonald's, and she said, Brendan, there's a strange car in the driveway. So it's early in the morning. Wow. It's early in the morning, Friday morning. There's a strange car in the driveway. He immediately says, I'm coming back home. Like, could it be an AC guy or repair somebody or cleaning lady or something? Why would the first thoughts be, oh my God, we're screwed. There's somebody attacking my wife there. I have to go. Or if it is, call 911.
Okay, and she was on her phone in the morning when you were getting ready?
Yes, she had her phone in the morning,
And you said that was 6:30.
roughly. I mean,
Okay.
I was in and out getting ready in that morning, so it's hard to say an exact time.
So then would it surprise you if the digital forensics, Mr. Lidsky's work would show that she was not on her phone at 6:30 or really any time before or after that with any?
I saw her with her phone. It was on the bed. She had the laptop also on the bed.
Got it. Okay, so she was just with the phone, not using the phone.
Yes.
I see.
Okay.
Let's talk about what happened in the room that morning. You leave the house, you go to McDonald's, and you're in the bathroom there for 7 minutes. Is that correct?
I believe that's what the time showed.
Okay, and you don't leave the bathroom until Juliana calls you at 7:37. Is that correct?
I believe that's the time. I don't have the time in front of me.
Okay, but as you're leaving the bathroom, you don't call 911.
I did not.
Okay, and you don't tell Juliana to call 911.
No, I did not.
You don't run out of McDonald's. We've seen you on the video. You walk to your car.
I thought it looked like I was walking faster than normal.
Okay, but you're not concerned. You said at this point in time, you didn't have any reason to worry. You thought maybe she was just having an affair, another one, correct?
That was my original thought.
Okay, so out of curiosity, if she's having another affair, why are you going back to the house at all? Why didn't you tell Juliana just to go to the zoo with Valerie? Don't worry about it. It's just another affair.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to be telling Juliana about Christine's affairs. That's not something I would discuss with her.
Why not? You're having an affair with Juliana.
We discussed basically nothing about Christine together. She didn't want to know anything about Christine.
Okay, so you're leaving the McDonald's. You're heading back home to catch your wife in the affair then?
I was very unsure of what was going on at that point. It went through my mind that it was possibly going to be an affair, but I did not know what it was.
Okay, so when you arrive at the house, you're saying that Juliana brings Valerie in after you to the basement. Is that correct?
Yes, and she also said that she followed me later. She didn't say that I told her.
Okay, and at that point in time, again, you're still thinking you're just busting your wife having sex with some guy.
I did not know, once again, exactly what was going on. That was a consideration, that it was possible that she was having an affair, but I did not know what was happening at that time.
Okay, but be it catching her in an affair or this question mark something else that you haven't defined, why wouldn't you tell the babysitter to take your daughter back outside?
I believe that she was safe in the basement. I thought they were okay there. I did not perceive that they were in danger at that time. I told them to stay at the car. I don't know why she chose to come to the house.
Okay, but you're law enforcement and this is your house. You're not going to tell them what to do to ensure that they are safe when you have this doubt about what's going on?
I understand that. And it may have been a mistake that I didn't send them back out. And it's something that I've thought about many times.
Okay. You indicated that you haven't drawn your gun until you're on the stairs up to the bedroom and can hear what you think are sex noises coming.
Thank
from
you
the
for
bedroom. Is that
watching,
correct?
guys.
No, I stated that when I was on the main floor, I believed that the noises were sex, moaning, things like that.
Oh, this
But
guy's so gross.
later on, when I was climbing the stairs, I had already changed my thought, and I thought that what I believe are strikes sounded too sharp, too.
Right, your
Things
mind
moan-
changed. It
yes.
wasn't sex anymore. Now it sounded bad.
Yes,
Okay. At that point in time, there's a lock on the outside of your basement door, correct?
yes.
Okay. You didn't lock the basement door, did you?
I'm not sure I've ever locked that.
Well, the lock is there, isn't it?
It was there when it came with the house. I don't believe I've ever used that lock at any point.
Okay, but it would have presumably kept your babysitter and your child from leaving the basement and following you, as we know Juliana did, up to the room where bad things were now happening, right?
I guess that's possible, but I never thought of that lock. It's not something that's in my general thought pattern, as it's not something we ever use.
Okay, so you followed your training and pulled your weapon and walked up the stairs with the gun out. Is that accurate?
Yes,
Okay. And when you turned and saw Juliana had followed you, at that point in time, you're worried that bad things are happening, correct?
yes, I am.
Did you tell her to call 911 at that point?
No, I was moving quickly towards the door.
Did you tell her to go back downstairs and get your daughter out of the house at that point?
I wasn't worried about Juliana at that point. I was worried about Christine.
Okay, and you weren't worried about your daughter at that point either then, right?
I don't think Valerie was on the top of my mind when I believed that Christine is being injured, and that was at the forefront of my mind.
So you get up to the room with your gun drawn and you see what's happening. You see Joe Ryan behind your naked wife with something metal in his hand. Is that accurate?
Yes,
Okay. And at that point in time, you yelled police, correct?
yes,
Okay. You didn't shoot.
no.
You did not yell for Juliana, who's behind you, to call 911.
I didn't know that Juliana was behind me or had climbed the stairs at that point. I had only seen her on the main floor leave it at the door. I did not see her climb the stairs at that point.
Okay, but you told us that the foyer is this big echoey chamber that you can hear from anywhere in the house. If she's in the foyer and you're standing at the door, whether or not she's immediately behind you, if you yelled, call 911, she would hear you, wouldn't she, in this echoey foyer?
Yes, she would hear that.
Okay, but you didn't do that, did you?
I was focused on the tense situation that was in front of me.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask, just a moment while I log back in.
But in her hair.
Okay, so in your version of this, he said that when you entered the room, the knife is in his hand, the other hand's maybe on her neck, somewhere in her hair, and she's already bleeding, correct?
I believe that there was already blood in her hair.
Okay, so in your version of this, he had already stabbed her when you walked in the room.
I believe so.
Okay, and you then saw him stab her.
I guess I'm not sure. It could have been at that same time that he already has the knife to her neck. So I don't know if that he stabbed her before, or that it was at that point that the knife is already to her neck, that the blood goes to her hair.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, let's go back.
And so matter of fact, right? So matter of fact, no emotions whatsoever. Talking about the most horrific scene of seeing his wife get stabbed right in front of him. No tears, just like matter of fact, angry at the prosecutor because she's asking questions, poking holes in his story, and he just continues to be matter of fact. So I think Brendan made a huge mistake. There was zero things that he did testifying that helped his case. A lot of people, I think, could testify because it's the trial of their lives. They're on trial for murder. They can get life in prison or worse. But in this case, he does not, we don't perceive him well. He doesn't come out as a good person, as somebody with any emotions, any feelings, any regrets, any nothing for nothing. And I think it was a huge mistake. So we can pick up the rest of the cross-examination tomorrow. If you guys want, leave a comment below. If you haven't yet, subscribe and share this video so that we can get more eyeballs Thank you so much. We're going to close here tonight because it's been over an hour. And I appreciate you being with me. I appreciate all the subscribers of the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, guys. BiancaMMM, your go-to place for mind meditation and motivation to elevate your life and keep you entertained. I'm passionate about exploring the human mind and psychology, and here we dive into court proceedings, body language analysis, and sprinkle in a bit of humor along the way. You will also find content to boost your personal growth physically and mentally, featuring quick meditation techniques and uplifting messages to kickstart your day. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, take care and stay positive.